Richmond Hill started with Henry Ford buying 85,000 acres, and now it's one of the fastest growing counties in all of Georgia.
If you're considering a move to Richmond Hill, you may not have the opportunity to come house hunt beforehand. So today we are taking you on a driving tour throughout the entire city so that you can get an idea of what it's like to have a local's point of view. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, so we are driving into J.F. Gregory. This is where we started at just a few minutes ago, but we wanted to give you a front row seat to see what it looks like when you get here.
This is one of the most popular places in Richmond Hill. It's where the city hosts the annual Independence Day celebration, which was actually just this past weekend. The Christmas parade, there's an Easter egg hunt every year. There's multiple fishing derbies throughout the year. The Richmond Hill Garden Club does a pumpkin patch.
Yep.
And it's also home to the Richmond Hill Farmers Market on Saturday afternoons throughout most of the year. We are a little partial to the location because it's also home to our church.
They have a location at the very back of J.F. Gregory called City Center that you can rent out if you're doing events, and our church rents it out every Sunday. So we come here every single week, at least once a week.
At least once a week. There's miles and miles of walking trails here. I think it actually ends up being a full 5K if you do the entire loop.
Just over 3 miles.
But it goes deep into the natural part of Richmond Hill. You get to see the tributaries that head out to the Ogeechee River, and it is truly the part of the area that we love so much, that coastal Georgia beauty that we hear from the folks that we talk to all the time as well.
On the back half of the loop, you have benches that you can sit at and take in the water. There's an overview that you can climb up and see the Marsh and the tidal creek, so it's just really beautiful.
There's picnic tables back there.
This is City Center right here. There's lots of events that are held here throughout the year. I'm gonna turn into the loop so you can see the building. At Christmas time, they host lots of luncheons and charity events, and really it's busy throughout the year. And on Sunday mornings, come see us until we get our new building.
CBC Richmond Hill.
We're gonna go back around and I'm gonna show you the entrance to the walking trails and the little bridge that we were just talking about as well. And then straight ahead of us here, you can see this big lawn. A lot of times on Sunday mornings, you'll see people out there playing cricket, which is super popular.
It's not
here, but they are busy.
There is a cricket game on Sunday.
Every Sunday.
At J.F. Gregory. That's also where they put like the stage when we have the annual spring fling.
Yep.
Because they'll bring in like the chorus from the middle schools and the elementary school around the area. A lot of our friends have daughters that dance, and so the dancers perform. So there's all kinds of events throughout the entire year here at the park.
And here is the entrance that you can that you use to get to the walking trails. All right, so we're going out of J.F. Gregory here. To the left is the pavilion with all those picnic tables. It's covered. We talked about that. And we're gonna go out of the park a different way than the way we came in. We're gonna go out by City Hall, which is, if you're in the city limits, that's where you're gonna come and get your water turned on.
That's true.
The police station is over there.
It's like the little hub of Richmond Hill that's all right here around J.F. Gregory Park, which was actually named for the superintendent that maintained all of Henry Ford's land when he owned it in the 1940s, 1950s. We're gonna get to the part of Richmond Hill that is on the water here in just a little bit. It really surprises a lot of out-of-state buyers how close we are to the water in Richmond Hill. So stay tuned so that you can get a glimpse of that as we get there. We are passing City Hall right now. We are filming this tour on July the 1st, 2026. So getting ready just in a couple of days to celebrate the 250th birthday of America.
It really shows how patriotic our town is because we are located between two big military installations. There's several more that we also service, but we're between Hunter Army Airfield and Fort Stewart. And so our military population is so large, and we love our military members, and we celebrate July 4th in a big way.
That's right. You can tell that we're a military town when you come through here. There's no doubt about it.
So I just turned onto Ford Avenue. We're actually heading back towards the interstate a little bit. We want to go show you our first neighborhood that we wanted to talk about. As we are driving, we're passing to our left some of our places that you'll come and shop. There's Three Lemons right here to my left. You have Tosa Coffee Company behind us. Is Way Station Coffee.
Veteran owned.
Yep, veteran
Tosa,
owned.
awesome.
There is Charlie Granger's right here to my left, which is a hot dog and little barbecue place. They have specific hours though, so make sure you check them out before you drive into town.
That's right.
We have our annex building right here to the left. They do a lot of senior citizen events and car washes.
The first neighborhood that we are going to take a look at is Mulberry. It is actually the closest subdivision to Savannah, Chatham County that you could possibly get in Richmond Hill. So we're right on the edge of the city of Richmond Hill and the Bryan County limit.
But you can see it doesn't take any time to get here. So we have a lot of clients who work or their life is in Savannah, but they really want to come to Richmond Hill for one reason or another, if it's schools or being closer to the water. This is the closest proximity neighborhood that they're going to get. So we just turned from Ford Avenue onto 17, and now we're turning into the Mulberry subdivision. And what people love about this neighborhood, larger lots, a lot of homes that have a lot of living on the main floor. So don't have tons of two-story options where all the bedrooms are upstairs. And the proximity to JF Gregory, because there's a walking path between this neighborhood and the park.
You can walk straight into the park. There are so many more ranch style homes in this neighborhood. Like Niki mentioned, a lot of Richmond Hill was developed post 2000. And so in that development, you see tons and tons of two-story homes. And so this is a really great neighborhood that you could find a single story. In fact, we have a family that lives in this neighborhood that they wanted an older home that had character. They wanted it to be single story, and they wanted to be as close to Savannah as possible. And we were able to do all three of those things for them by finding them the perfect home here in Mulberry.
And they love it. They've been here a while too.
They sure have. It's been several years since they moved.
So right ahead of me here, where you see this white fence, that is access point to JF Gregory. So we're going to take a right here onto Bell Grove. So this is just going to be a big circle that takes you around this side of the neighborhood, but it'll give you a good idea for what the homes look like.
As we're turning into this part of the neighborhood, it's time that we talk about the flooding. So if you have watched our channel before, you may have seen the video that we did about the truth about the flooding that happened in Richmond Hill in August of 2024. Yeah, 2024. We had a really, really significant flooding incident after Hurricane Debbie came through. It's not that we ended up with so much rain here.
No.
There was so much rain north of Richmond Hill and Bryan County, and there was a series of dams and levees. I know you guys have heard that story before. There was a series of dams and levees that broke that ultimately brought so much water downstream that it came into Richmond Hill in areas that we never, ever would have expected to flood. And the road that we're on right this second is one of those roads that flooded.
So not every home on this side had water intrusion into the house, but at least onto their driveways or into their yards. But as you can see from driving around, that has been remedied. We don't downplay it. We're not afraid to talk about it. We lived through it and we helped people recover from it. But it is something to be aware of, that part of the neighborhoods, especially closer to 95 in Savannah on this side, if being in an area that was impacted by flooding is a concern of yours, let us know. When we connect, we know all of the neighborhoods that were impacted. So primarily that would be Richmond Place, Rushing Street, Live Oak, White Oak, and then parts of Mulberry. And again, not every part of every neighborhood was impacted. There were sections that had water intrusion into the yard or some into the house. So we know.
The reality about living in coastal Georgia is that we do have to talk about flooding. When you look at a property with the Wellspring Group, we're always looking at the flood zone to see if it is in a high-risk flood zone. And the majority of properties in the Richmond Hill area are what would be considered a lower risk flood zone, which is a flood zone X. But we are looking at that before we ever see a property. So we're headed back through town now. We are going to take you guys towards a very sentimental spot, and we're going to take a walk down memory lane as we show you the next community after Mulberry.
All right, so we just turned out of Mulberry. We're on 17 now. We're coming up to the big intersection in town, which is 17 and 144 or Ford Avenue. If you take a right, we're actually going to take a left here, but if you took a right, you would end up at Kroger, at the fish hatchery at 95. You've got Starbucks, Firehouse Subs. There's a brand new Dunkin' Donuts that's coming to town. You have Walgreens and CVS right here on your corners. Right ahead of us is one of our favorite spots in town. If you need a gift shop, if you need a pharmacy, Richmond Hill Pharmacy is again right here. Nice and close.
That's where we get all of our medications filled.
And gift shop. Great gifts.
It will surprise you when you walk in to get your medications filled because you can go shopping while you're there. So we are headed back through what would be considered downtown Richmond Hill. So this is just kind of the heart of where the commercial development is in Richmond Hill right now. And towards the end of the video, we're going to take you and show you where development is headed next. So you're going to want to stay tuned until we get to that part of town.
When we're talking about being in town, this is where you're going to come to eat likely, or you're going to come this side of town to eat the majority of the time. There are some food options further out, but we just passed by Papaya. We passed by a couple of Mexican restaurants, Sumo, Grit.
Passed by Riccardi's.
Oh yeah, pizza.
Which makes delicious deep dish pizza.
Yeah, we've got Grit and Grain, Crafted, which is a little cocktail lounge, really cute. There's just a lot of options that are coming. They've grown a lot since we've been here. Been here since 2015. And the town has done a really great job of keeping the small town feel, even despite the growth that we have felt. And they encourage the locally owned businesses to come in versus the big box stores. Yep, that's exactly right.
Okay, so now we're going for a hiatus because this train is
Train
really
is
slow.
so slow. This is what we consider traffic in Richmond Hill, getting stopped by a train. We are passing our favorite coffee shop. I know you guys have heard us talk about it before. Way Station is right here on the corner on the right. Perfect little family-owned coffee shop that is a great place to go and sit and chat and work and just be out and about in the sweetest little environment.
Our next favorite place.
Ella's. Right there.
We just passed Ella's, which is a locally owned gift shop. Great place for gifts, housewares. If you want to buy gifts for me.
Plants.
Plants. Best place for plants. It's our favorite for a reason.
And then you got Plantation Hardware right here to my left. That is where you're gonna go and get any of your hardware needs that you don't have to get from Home Depot or Lowe's. That's right here in town, nice and convenient. So wow, look at all this traffic. This is a lot of traffic for you guys on the other side of the road.
You are seeing quite a bit of traffic on this video that typically is not here, but that does tell you that that was a long and slow train.
So we are about to come up on Timber Trail. We're gonna take a right here there's a gas station on our right coming up. That's called the White Parkers. It was the White Parkers when we moved here, but now they're all white. So
one of the other little spots that's right here by this gas station is What's for Dinner, which is a lifesaver. They do pre-made meals. So at the beginning of the week, you can order several things if you want to have them in your refrigerator so that you don't have to worry about cooking dinner. It's a lifesaver, like Niki mentioned, in the middle of a busy week.
Yep. And in front of us right here at this at the stoplight is the Richmond Hill Museum. That's got a ton of history just about our town and how it started and where it came from, and a lot about Henry Ford, of course, because he was our founding father, basically.
So influential in the development here.
Right here that we are passing, you guys can't really see it. It's on our left, Magnolia Manor. That's an independent and assisted living facility. It's near and dear to my heart because I've been volunteering there since 2018 with my therapy dog, Berkeley. The residents love him.
They do love him.
They love him.
He's famous at Magnolia Manor.
He is.
But it's important for you to know that those kind of resources are available here. So if it's somebody, if you are considering moving here and you have elderly parents that you want to come with you, just know that those resources are here. So the next thing we're going to see straight ahead is one of the big recreation parks here in Richmond Hill.
There.
Cool. Let's give a quick glance. There are like 15 baseball fields here.
There's
I
a lot.
believe there's a couple of football fields. There's a gymnasium where we do basketball and volleyball. There's the outdoor basketball courts.
Back in the day, it used to be a Friday night skating ring. They don't do that anymore. But we've got some smaller baseball fields. There's 2 large full-size baseball fields. So if you have boys that are 14U and up, they would be on those. These were developed first. So there's actually a newer park that we're going to take a look at later on Duval Henderson. But these are near and dear to our heart because our neighborhood where Erin and I used to live and we actually met at is directly behind us, Richmond Hill Plantation, that we're going to next. This is where we spend a lot of time. If you have kids, you're gonna love it. There's a skate park over here that's completely fenced in. You have a playground. You'll always see people, especially during the day, walking. And then the most important thing, if you like to pickleball, there's pickleball courts right here. We had several tennis courts that were converted and now there's 8 pickleball courts back here.
It's a really big park.
It is, it's huge. And so you've got your tennis courts, your pickleball courts, baseball. There's a lot to do right here in a small area.
Something for everyone.
That's right. Okay, so we just pulled out of Timber Trail Rec Department and we are turning into Richmond Hill Plantation. The confusing thing that some of our clients have when they come here is that there's actually 2 Richmond Hill Plantations. There's this one off of Timber Trail and then there's the Richmond Hill Plantation that is behind Publix. So this one was developed first and this is actually where Erin and I met. We were neighbors and didn't even know each other.
That's right. This was the location for both mine and Niki's first homes here in Richmond Hill. On the right, we're passing the cottages at Cottonham, which was where I lived. Those are smaller cottage-style homes on smaller lots, but they're super adorable.
They're really
Love
cute.
that part of the neighborhood. And then there's this retreat section right here on the left that are a little bit larger than the cottages. They were built in 2014, 2015, 2016. And then there is the next part of the subdivision, which is one giant loop.
And we'll drive through that in just a second. Those are the custom built homes back there. Every home was built by a different builder and they all have their own unique styles, but they're beautiful and on a little bit larger lots.
They are.
So this is actually the street that I lived on right now. This is Plantation Way. This is the road you come in on the neighborhood. I loved it because it's nobody on the front side. There's all trees and then you have trees behind you and it ends in a cul-de-sac. But it's really indicative of what this neighborhood is like. There's a ton of trees. It was actually developed by Johnny Murphy and one of his big beliefs was to maintain the integrity of the land while he was developing it. And you can just see that there is a ton of greenery that was left behind even when they were doing these new builds, which started around 2013 and they go up from there, newer from there. So now we're coming back out. There's another section to the right up here that's again newer homes. They were all built 2015, 16 and newer. That was the last section of this neighborhood that was developed. So we're gonna take a right heading towards that direction, but then we're gonna go through the custom built home area.
You can see there's sidewalks throughout the whole neighborhood. And I'm kind of surprised that we don't see anybody walking right now. Maybe it's a little bit
probably
warm.
are at the pool.
They probably are all at the pool, but typically you would see strollers, wagons, families on walks, people bike riding.
This neighborhood is teeming with life. They do a ton to encourage community. At the pool, they'll bring in food trucks and they'll do like an end of summer bash and a start of summer cookout. They just added a splash pad for little kids to give them their own area. So they do quite a bit here. That's probably where everybody's at because it's a hot one today.
It is a hot one today.
So we're now on the custom built section. There's a little lagoon back here that you can't see. That's another thing we love about this neighborhood. There's lots of places for kids to fish. My boys caught many a fish. I've caught many a fish in here too.
One of the other really great things about Richmond Hill Plantation is the location. It's
what drew us here.
Still in city limits. It's close to I-95. It's close to Fort Stewart. So it's really great for military families. It's also like 5 minutes from Publix. So if you forget something at the grocery store or you decide that you no longer want to cook, then you can rub run up to Publix and grab a pub sub really quickly. If you don't know what a pub sub is, be sure to ask us when you call. Our contact information is in the description below.
I mean, really, you've got Publix is 5 minutes away. You've got Kroger 5 minutes away. You have Food Lion that's less than 5 minutes away. You have the new mobile gas station that has that amazing taco place that's inside of it. Tacos El Charo. We had that for dinner last night because I didn't feel like cooking.
It's a real hidden gem.
It is.
Most people don't think that they're gonna get delicious tacos at a gas station.
It's legit. Don't knock it till you try it. Just like our other favorite gas station restaurant is Smokin' Pig in Richmond Hill off of 17 behind us. That's also 5 minutes away.
I had never considered the fact that we do
barbecue.
have such great gas station restaurants here in Richmond Hill. So we are going back toward 144 again, Ford Avenue. That's the road that we turned off of when we came towards Richmond Hill Plantation. And the next place we are going to go is really hard to get a glimpse of for most of the folks that live in Richmond Hill. I think they would say they've never
been behind the gate.
Never been behind the gates. So we are going to take you behind the gates of the Ford Field and River Club, which is the most exclusive community in all of coastal Georgia. And I think that some would even contend that it is the most beautiful community in all of coastal Georgia. So we're going to take you and give you a quick look.
Okay, so we couldn't film coming through the gates, but we are now back behind the gates, and to the right you will see all of these beautiful white fences. That's the equestrian center where residents can either board their horses or they can have access to the club owned horses if they like to ride. So that's one of the first special perks about being a member at the Ford.
We are going to take you and show you the main house, which is owned by the membership here at the club and used for lots of different activities like cookies and cocktails. And they host all kinds of events throughout the year where they'll put big tents up out on all the lawns. There's a pool there.
They're in the process of renovating many of the amenities here in the Ford. So they're redoing the clubhouse, they're redoing the gym, they're redoing some of the restaurants. We are coming up on the main house and you're gonna see just all of these beautiful trees, and it's overlooking the Ageechee River. So it is just spectacular. All of the lots in the Ford in this section are large.
Huge.
They're going to be over an acre. The cool thing about being in the Ford is there's distinct neighborhoods within the community. So there's a section that has a very Charleston feel, and it even has a little gazebo in the center, and it overlooks the water. Let's go. I'm gonna keep going. We'll pull up in front of the main house. You can see all of these stunning live oak trees dripping.
Isn't that just
moss.
beautiful?
So
Driving
pretty.
through here decreases your blood pressure.
It does. So there's a spa on site that is right here to our left. We're gonna drive as much as we can before we get shooed out of here. A fun little fact right here, between the main house and...
I wondered if you were going to talk about this.
Between the main house and what was that house?
That's the rice mill house.
That's what I thought, the rice mill house. This is the main house that we're coming up on. There is actually an underground tunnel that Henry Ford used to use. He wasn't a big partier. He had a very short social battery. And so when he would be done, he would use the tunnel and head over to the rice house and get his batteries recharged.
That's right.
alone.
That was his laboratory.
Yeah.
So he'd go back over there so he could go do what he really enjoyed doing, which was tinkering. And he didn't have to be around all of the folks that were attending the soiree that Clara actually did enjoy hosting.
All right, so we just passed the main house. Gonna do a little turnaround up here, and then we'll head back on out to the next section of the neighborhood.
One of the things to know about the Ford Field and River Club, which was formerly the Ford Plantation, is that when you buy real estate here, you also go through the membership process of joining the club. As of this time, 2026. The membership fee is $200,000. And then there's also about $50,000 worth of HOA dues and club fees that you have every single year. That includes a minimum club spend. That membership actually is a legacy membership. So that means that when you join, your parents are members and your children are members and your children's children. Yeah. So it's really neat that joining the Ford Plantation becomes part of your family legacy. They have a homecoming party every single year. That's October. Usually in October, that's right. And it's the chance where all of the folks that live here, not many of them are full-time residents. Right. I would say that we're only about 30 to 40% full-time residents here, but everyone is here when the season kicks off, and so they all enjoy that big party, and the pictures are always so pretty.
They're so pretty. One of the favorite things to do in the fall when the members are all back on property is to have big oyster roasts. And so they actually have a special dedicated location just for these oyster roasts, which we've been to one, and it is just beautiful. They usually have live music, and it's overlooking the Marsh, and it's just stunning and such a great sense of community.
You know, truly, if you're concerned about the wildlife here in the Savannah area, we should have a conversation about it, because it's actually something that comes up a lot, and we all live together quite well. We've never had an alligator scare. We just get used to the bugs, and we enjoy taking advantage of the fact that there are so many other fantastic wildlife. So we're gonna head around towards the other side of the neighborhood. It's actually really big, like 1,800 acres here at the Ford Field and River Club. So behind us, we've come out of the section where the main house is. Niki mentioned McAllister Landing, which is one of those distinct communities that looks like the Charleston style homes. We're fixing to turn on to Dublin Drive, and the homes that are on Dublin Drive are estate style homes with massive lots. We were actually looking at the back side of Dublin Drive when we were driving up towards the main house, but you can really get an idea of what the real estate looks like as we go through Dublin Drive, because you can see that many of the homes have 3 different structures on the home sites. That's going to be the limit for building, is 3 separate structures. You can do your main house, you can do a garage, and then you can also do a guest house. And most of the properties here that are on these estate lots have at least 2 structures on them. It's not uncommon for that guest house to be on top of the garage. We see that a lot.
We haven't really talked about what type of person is drawn to the Ford, and I think that's important to touch on. A lot of residents here love to golf. They don't have to golf, but a lot of them do love to golf, and we have a Pete Dye golf course that is world class. It's insanely beautiful, and they are constantly upgrading and renovating it.
The Pete Dye design golf course here is phenomenal because part of it is link style and part of it is not. The back 9 is the link style, and so you get the best of both worlds when you're golfing here. There's also no tee times.
No, just show up, show and go.
Show up and golf, and so the residents love that too.
Another draw that brings people to the Ford is the desire to be outside and to enjoy the amenities that you can find here. So there is a marina on site. You can keep your boat here. That would be an additional cost on top of the HOA dues and the property owner fees, but you can have it right in the marina. There are tennis courts, there's pickleball courts, there's a world-class sports barn that I already mentioned is undergoing a massive renovation.
They finished it.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
they finished it. Yeah, and it is an exquisite renovation that they did too.
I saw it when it was in progress. I didn't know it was completed. There's 2 different pool options. You've got the family style pool that we're heading towards, and then you have the more adult style pool, which is back by the main house that we just came.
So there's also amenities at the Ford that are not on site, because when you are a member of the Ford Field and River Club, you are also a member of Dorchester Preserve, which is located in Midway. It's about a 30-minute drive from here in the Ford to get down to Dorchester, but it's a place where you can go do shooting and hunting. They have all of the hunting dogs down there, and it's just a really beautiful addition to the amenities that are here on site.
So we just turned by the members gate. So if you live on this side of the neighborhood, you don't have to make a long drive from the main gate. You can come in your members gate. This is where you'll really start to feel that sense of a golf course community. Many of these homes are located on the holes or on the greens. Gotta wave to the people. Hey. You've got lots and lots of water, and I'm not sure if we can see it, but to my left there's a big pond over here, and then
That's Lake Dye on the left.
Is this still Lake Dye?
This is Lake Dye right here on the left. Yep. And it's not uncommon to see gator or two swimming through the pond. I'm trying to keep my eyes out. You may have seen it when we slowed down back there for those work vehicles. There was a yield sign that said yield to horses. So Niki mentioned earlier, you can have your horse here. You could also use the club horses to go for a ride. You can ride for miles and miles and miles.
And there's actually a section of the neighborhood near Silk Hope, which is the newest developed section, where you can build a property and keep your horses on your own property. So they have a whole section of the neighborhood for people who just really love their horses.
Okay, so we are coming up on the clubhouse, which you're gonna see is really undergoing a significant renovation. But right in front of the clubhouse is an oak alley. It's one of 3 oak allays here in the Ford Field and River Club. We saw the first one when we were over at the main house. It goes straight in front of the main house. And then there's this oak alley, and then there's another one in that other subdivision that Niki mentioned, Silk Hope. That's the 3rd oak alley. They're all in the shape of an H because prior to Henry Ford's ownership, this land was actually owned by a man named John Harn.
And I just have to say, Erin's not saying it incorrectly. She's not trying to sound fancy. That's actually what they call them. It's not an oak alley.
Yes.
It's an oak alley.
It's an oak alley. So here is the clubhouse. We're coming up under it. It is completely fenced off, you guys.
You can't really see much, but the renovation is ongoing.
It's going to be spectacular when it's finished. I think it's going to be quite a while though, because they just initiated this project at the beginning of 2026. And I know it's something that the folks that live here are really excited about because it was time.
It was time. This is where you're going to come and have your dinners or your lunches. The food is spectacular.
So delicious.
There so many times.
I would love a taco salad right now.
Salmon salad is good too.
Yes, that is good too. The Golf Pro Shop is right there, and that's also where the locker rooms are as well. So if you're coming on or off the course, you'll be right there.
They've kept the golf course wide open, even during renovations. It's still fully functional and running. We're heading towards the marina now. So this is heading back towards that Silk Hope neighborhood that we mentioned earlier, towards the marina. This is where you're going to have a lot of homes with those water views that draws people to the south and to these exclusive communities. You will have stunning home sites, and the sizes tend to vary just depending on where you land over here. They can be as small as half an acre. They can be all the way up to 2+ acres, just depending on where you land. All right, so this is heading into the Silk Hope Harbor. This is the marina section. There are home sites back here. We have sold back here before, just stunning views all the way around.
Oh yeah, some of these houses are 3 stories high. And so when you get up to the crow's nest, you can see the Ogeechee River. To the right is Lake Clara, of course, named for Clara Ford. And that goes out towards the Ogeechee River as well. And there's just spectacular views when you get up towards the top. Lots of work going on here.
Can't wait to see that house when it's finished.
I know,
That's
man,
be a big one.
It's gonna be so pretty.
All right, we're gonna swing around by the marina and then head on out from behind the gates. It's always fun to come back here and see the beautiful homes and the architecture and just the greenery.
We'll take you and show you the next part of Richmond Hill that's close to the water after this though. So you're gonna wanna stay tuned because there's so much more to see. There's
your kayak launch straight ahead of us. That's the Ogeechee River out there. And then right here, coming up, man, lots of yard people out today, which is great, keeping it nice and pretty. Right here is where you're going to go get your, it's the Ogeechee Outfitters. This is where you're gonna go and get anything that you need before you jump on the boat. They've got clothing, I think they have bait and tackle in there. They've got basically everything you need. And then you can
stop by and grab a
Coca-Cola?
A glass bottle Coca-Cola. Just a sweet little spot in the neighborhood to stop in and see. The ladies that work in there are so nice too.
And right here to our right is where you're gonna keep your boat, and then you can have your house right across the street.
Yes, right.
We are driving towards the water. So we talked about earlier, getting you close to the water. That's where we're heading to now. We're on Fort McAllister Road.
That is the road that dead ends into Fort McAllister State Park, which is where so much much of the oldest part of Richmond Hill's history is. That is where Sherman ended his march to the sea, is right here in Richmond Hill at Fort McAllister State Park. We're not going to take you quite to the end where the state park is. We're going to take you to our favorite part of this road. It is where we love to spend a Friday afternoon, and you'll understand why when we get there.
It's easy for us to spend a Friday afternoon there because Erin and I both live right off of Fort McAllister Road. One reason people love living down this way, you typically will find either homes with no HOAs or with very laid back homeowner associations. A lot of them might just be off of the road and not be in a technical neighborhood, but you still have the neighborhood feel because you do have neighbors. There are different individual neighborhoods as well, littered throughout Fort McAllister Road area.
But there's not very many.
There's not.
It's real long and skinny, and there's ends up being water on each side of the road. And so that's the really great thing. If you live down here, there are opportunities on both the river side and then over on the
Tidal Creek side.
Tidal Creek side to have waterfront property.
So as we come up on this turn, you're about to see the Ogeechee River, which you hear us talk about in a lot of our videos, but it's really the lifeline to the community. It's where we all spend our Saturday afternoons on the river. Right here around this bend at low tide, there's a sandbar that you will see people hanging out at. All the time they'll pull up their boats and bring out beach chairs and just spend some time out there at low tide, but you got to be quick because tide does come up and it's completely covered.
We also just came past, what you can't see from the road is the 7-mile bend in the river. Doesn't take up that much space of road, but if you were on a boat, it's a full 7 miles. And I mention it because that stretch of river is actually what our logo here in Richmond Hill. It's the inspiration for our logo. It's just a big R, and that's the 7-mile bend in the Ogeechee River.
So we are coming up on Fishtails. This is our favorite Friday lunch spot. Friday nights when you don't feel like cooking, you can also come here too. There is a full service marina. I'm gonna turn around so we can take a look at it. There's a tiki bar, there's a restaurant. It's just the best vibes. You picture living near the water, and this is what you picture. There's also boat storage that Fort McAllister offers. There's a boat lift. If I kept going down Fort McAllister Road a little bit further, there is a public boat launch that you can put your boat in without having to spend any money, which is what our family does.
There's nothing better than being here on like a Friday night or a Saturday night. You see all your bunnies.
Oh yeah.
A strawberry mojito.
Or a land shark.
Or a land shark. The food is good.
Yeah.
It's just a favorite little spot. It's just the best little local place. Makes you feel like you are actually living on the coast because you're looking at it.
100%. So we turned back around. We're heading back out towards Ford Avenue. But before we get to Ford, we're actually going to go visit Buckhead East, which is a very, very popular neighborhood in Richmond Hill. People love it for many reasons. One, it's a walk to school community. So if you have kids in elementary school, this is going to be the neighborhood that you are going to be interested in. If that's
this is only
dream.
There are 2 neighborhoods in all of Richmond Hill where you can walk to school, and Buckhead East is one of them. So that is definitely a huge draw. It was for us. I live in Buckhead East, so if we see feral children running down the streets, they could be mine.
Don't know that I'm coming, no. Another reason people absolutely love this neighborhood is because of the park that's connected to it. So you've got Duval Henderson Park that I mentioned earlier on, and this is your place where you're gonna go and have your kids play soccer or play football. There's baseball fields, there's softball fields. You also have a really awesome dog park that has the dogs divided by sizes. So if you have big dogs, they can go on one side. If you have smaller dogs, they go on the other side, with a full dog wash station right on site. Tons of trails. There's a big pond in the middle that you can walk around. It's an ideal location.
We love to walk through there. We love to bike through there. People golf cart through there. I do love that it's connected to Green Creek Trail because it's so covered and shaded, and it's so nice to be able to go walk over there outside of the sunshine.
That's right.
So we do that quite a bit when we're on our neighborhood walks. The other thing that people love about Buckhead East, the sense of community here is really strong. strong. It's a very active social committee that just did donuts a couple of weeks ago in the neighborhood, and there's always back to school parties and end of school year parties. There's an Easter egg hunt every year, and then there's a full lineup of food trucks that come and park in the neighborhood once a week. And so it just gives you so much variety and so many opportunities to meet your neighbors. I think that's what makes a place feel like home, when you really know the people that live around you.
I think that's something important to talk about though, because when I grew up moving around quite a bit, and it was always hard to move into new communities and get established because everybody had their friend groups that they had been with their entire life. And there wasn't a lot of movement. And I do feel like that's something in Richmond Hill. There's a continuous influx of people in and out, and so kids and adults too are used to people coming and going and understanding that we're going to make new friends. Okay, so we just turned into the backside of Buckhead East. This is the side off of Fort McAllister Road that if you went straight where I turned left, you would have ended up at Duval Henderson Park. And now we're in the residential section. So Kingswood is what we're on right now. These are larger homes, larger lots. This was a Mungo built community. Prices in the neighborhood are going to be anywhere from the high 300s, just depending on how many bedrooms and square foot you have, all the way up to close to 600 and beyond. Historically, we've had a couple of over $600,000 sales, but really your sweet spot's going to be in that $400,000 to $500,000 range.
100%. I would say the majority of the homes in here sell in that $400,000 to $500,000 range. The home sites are typically about 0.2 to 0.3 acres on this road that we're on right now. Niki mentioned these are larger home sites, and there's 2 roads in the neighborhood in particular that have those larger home sites, and then the rest of the neighborhood has the 0.2 to 0.3 size.
So we're about to pass the little walkway that you would take to walk from school, from McAllister Elementary to the neighborhood. You also can get to the pool and the park right here to the right as well.
Another neighborhood lined with sidewalks like we talked about earlier. There's always people out here on the sidewalks. I like to walk in the mornings, and it's typically pretty quiet when I'm out, typically pretty early. But throughout the rest of the day, it's usually packed with kids and families.
It's just hot today.
It is just a hot one.
Hot today.
Buckhead East was initially developed starting around 2012, 2013, and they have just wrapped up the end of construction. There was another section of the neighborhood that's Lennox at Buckhead East that started developing after everything else was fully built out, and they've just finished that. So mostly single family homes here in Buckhead East, but there is also a section of townhomes as well, and they are very popular. They typically do not stay on the market very long. We're coming now to the main entrance to the neighborhood. We're going out the main entrance. You're looking directly at Duval Henderson Park straight in front of you. And then to the right is McAllister Elementary School that we talked about being walkable from the neighborhood. There are several tennis courts right inside Duval Henderson Park that are open to the public. And then there's a huge lagoon. There's multiple lagoons actually, but there's a really big lagoon with a walking track around it right in the middle of the park. Super common to see parents drop their kids off at soccer practice and then go walk the lagoon. Just a really nice way to get some steps in while your kids are at practice. And it's a huge lagoon, and it has plenty of fish. My kids love to come up here and fish. They walk from the neighborhood and they just lagoon hop. So we are going to go from Buckhead East over to Buckhead North. Buckhead and Buckhead South, I know that might feel a little bit confusing. They're nothing like Buckhead East though, interestingly. These communities were developed long before Buckhead East. Lots of brick homes over here, which you don't have for the most part in Buckhead East, and some really large home sites as well. So we are taking you through one of our roundabouts.
I was just about to mention that. This is something that you're gonna see in Richmond Hill. We don't love stoplights, we love roundabouts.
We love a roundabout.
So if you're on any of the community pages as you are researching your move to Richmond Hill, you will probably see some discussion around our roundabouts. We actually like them. I like them. I think they're efficient, and I have a new driver in my household, and he's actually getting the hang of them pretty quickly too.
Down on 144, deeper again into Richmond Hill. Niki mentioned that earlier. Passing a few of the different churches that are here. We just passed New Life, and then on the left here is St. Elizabeth. That's an Episcopal church. And then we'll also have New Beginnings, not to be confused with new life. New beginnings is right up here as well. We are going to turn right before we get there, though, into the main entrance for Buckhead North. Buckhead North is also one of the perennially popular communities in Richmond Hill. And I think part of that is because the people that are like, I don't want a cookie cutter neighborhood, this is where you're coming.
They want a larger lot. They want nice, very nice quality builds. These homes were the executive style homes when Richmond Hill was being developed. In Buckhead North, they're a little bit newer than traditional Buckhead. A lot of the houses are 2005, 2008 and newer, but you've got typically a little bit larger homes, a little bit larger home sites, higher appointed finishes.
That's right. Really not gonna get in here for under $450,000, and it's typically over 500. And there's even been some over $1 million sales. There's a property that sold at $1.2 million in here earlier this year. But there are several different distinct subdivisions within Buckhead North.
I'm gonna pull into the first one just so you can get an idea of what these little subdivisions look like. This is Chastain Park. It's the first one that you'll come to. Has a beautiful pond that you're going to see when you pull in. Great amenities. There's pool, there's basketball, lots and lots and lots of walking trails. People in Buckhead and Buckhead North love to be outside. That's the big draw for them. So you have this pond here, and then over back, you won't be able to see it, but back towards the complete residential section, there's a large pond in the center of this community as well that the homes face. Won't be able to see that on video.
There's some really beautiful views though for those properties that sit on the lagoon, just looking out over them. Sold many of them, and the homeowners always come back and say, I just love sitting on my back porch and looking at the water and having my coffee or having a glass of wine at night. It's always people's favorite thing to do. One of the nice things about Buckhead North is, I mentioned earlier, not being cookie cutter. So you see a lot of different types of architecture here. In fact, we're passing a house right now that's like an Italian villa style home. Directly across the street, there's more of a traditional home that's made of stucco. And then there's a traditional home made of brick, but they all have their own really unique feel. And they all have those upgraded fixtures that you mentioned earlier. So it's going to be more of an elevated piece of real estate here in Buckhead North. There's another very unique piece of real estate.
That was actually the one that sold for 1.2 right there.
It has kind of a mountain vibe.
It feels like a cabin
to it. It does. Buckhead North is connected to Buckhead, which is connected to Buckhead South, which is connected to
Tranquilla Hall.
Tranquilla Hall. So I tell you all of that to tell you that when you live in one of these subdivisions, you can walk or bike for miles or miles and miles without ever leaving the neighborhood. And I think that's something that really draws people in, is knowing, especially if they have young kids, that they could just be outside and go and go and go and know that they're gonna be okay, that there's everybody looking out for them here.
Right.
We have crossed from Buckhead North into Buckhead now. This is the older of the two communities. I say that Buckhead community though started being developed in the 90s, and there's even still some lots that haven't been built on, but they are owned. People love Buckhead because it has an amazing amenities center.
It does. We're actually passing that right now. There's a pool, there's pickleball courts. You have a big baseball field that you guys have access to. You know, my family loves baseball. Always have to spot those. So the cool thing about Buckhead is that you have the opportunity to have Marsh view lots, or you can have interior lots. So if being close to the water kind of scares you, makes you a little iffy, you can be inland. But if you want that community feel with a big lot and lots of mature landscaping with the marsh view, you can have that too. So we're actually heading into one of our favorite sections of Buckhead. It's the Windsong neighborhood. So very similar to Buckhead North, Buckhead has many different neighborhoods sprinkled throughout the community. So Windsong is special to me. It was one of the first homes I ever sold was on Windsong, and they became lifelong friends as well. But we love the back of the neighborhood because it has beautiful marsh and tidal views. The homes in Windsong especially are going to have that traditional feel, a lot more traditional feel than normal. You do have some other custom builds that were done in here, but for the most part, you're going to find that really beautiful brick home. This house coming up here on the right, I don't know how much you'll be able to see. That one's just finishing completion now. So there are new construction opportunities. They're slimmer. There's not very many because most of the lots have been developed for some time.
But for the most part, real estate here, $400,000 to $600,000 is a really good range to give you. However, there are homes in the community that would go well over 700, even over 800 for some of these waterfront properties. There's another road.
This home right here that we're passing on the right, that one recently sold for over 700,000. So it really depends on the lot and what the backyard looks like if it has that marsh view.
Because some of these homes in these communities through here, Buckhead North, Buckhead South, were developed in the late 90s or even the early 2000s, they're showing their age if they have not been well maintained. And so when you look at these properties with an agent, we're always looking to see if there are issues from deferred maintenance. 20 years of deferred maintenance is a lot of deferred maintenance. So we're keeping our eyes out for that. It's really important to look at property disclosures because we want to know, how old is the roof? Is it original? Was this house built in 1999 and it has an original roof? That is something that we need to know. But we're looking at the rest of the systems as well. And the buyer specialists at the Wellspring Group in particular are so careful to be mindful of the different symptoms that you can see in a house that shows that it has had issues. So they're really careful when they do their showings, and then they always prepare well with having those disclosures on hand so that you know what you're looking at.
We just turned off of 144 onto Belfast Keller Road. Directly behind us is a roundabout, another one that we love. And on the other end of that roundabout is Oak Level Road that leads you to waterways, which I know you guys have heard us talk about if you've been here any length of time. So heading this direction on Belfast Keller, we are heading towards the interstate. We're also heading towards the new high school. You can get to the middle school. This is heading towards where the majority of development in Richmond Hill is happening currently. So we're about to cross over the Tivoli River, which is one of our many waterways that we love. We're coming up on one of our premier gated communities that you kind of have to know about A lot of locals in Richmond Hill, they will move from their first Richmond Hill home into their Bluffs home. So the neighborhood is the Bluffs. It's a gated community, large lot. Most of the lots are between 1 and 2 acres. Some of them might be slightly smaller. It has a very, Atlanta neighborhood vibe, but it's in a coastal setting.
I agree with that. There's a ton of waterfront property also just all along Belfast Keller Road in these little subdivisions that are off the road. The majority of these subdivisions have waterfront property in them, and that includes the Bluffs. There's several marsh front lots that are in the Bluffs, and we're passing it right now. There's even lots that haven't been built on yet that are on the water. We find in the Bluffs prices there, we're gonna be starting at 600.
Yeah. I think for the smaller homes, which aren't very small, they're like 2,500 square feet, you may hit in the 500s, but that would be few and far between.
And then the prices climb up over the 7 figures for those really large, there's some really large homes in the Bluffs. And so that's when you see those prices grow.
Speaking of hidden gem neighborhoods, we just passed Buckland Hall, which is a, if you know, you know, neighborhood.
And if you blink, you'll miss it.
That's right. It's one street, it's gated, has those beautiful estate home sites. Some of them do back up to Deepwater. Houses in there come up for sale very, very rarely.
High Bluff, Deepwater. I mean, these lots are just exquisite. And fun fact, Greg Allman actually lived in Buckland Hall for a very long time.
Yep.
It's one of Richmond Hill's claims to fame outside of Henry Ford.
So we are coming up on another one of our roundabouts that we have talked about. This is the roundabout that gets you to Belfast River Road, not to be confused with Belfast Keller Road. So Belfast River Road is the road that the middle school is off of. There's a bunch of neighborhoods like Dunham Marsh, Magnolia Hill, Wexford, what else?
Whiplow.
There's several different neighborhoods that are off of that. And at the other end of this roundabout, if you go down Belfast River Road, you will end up at Buckhead East, that roundabout that we were at earlier.
So hopefully that helps you kind of connect some of the dots in the community. It really is very easy to get around. It's not very many roads to learn, so you get pretty good at the traffic patterns and knowing how to take shortcuts if you need to. We are nearing the heart of development in Richmond Hill right now, though.
That would kind of surprise you if you're looking at the driving, seeing all of the trees, but
when do we get there?
We are really heading there right now. All of this is going to look quite different over the next 10 or so years as development plans come to fruition.
Yeah.
This is going to be the epicenter of Richmond Hill when it's all said and done.
Heartwood is the development that is really started all of it down here. It will eventually be a 10,000 roof community. So that's a big project and a long-term project that we're only about 4 years into. There are several different communities that have already been developed within Heartwood. And I just saw a new sign come up yesterday for another new community. It's actually, we mentioned earlier that our church meets at JF Gregory Park, but that is our temporary location because our permanent long-term location is actually going to be out here in Heartwood. We purchased some land there, and so that will be our permanent home soon. You're getting a little glimpse of the high school campus on the right as we cross through yet another Richmond Hill roundabout.
We'll get a close-up view of the high school in just a little bit because that is incredible. Can't miss that.
We also are getting near Del Webb, which is the only 55+ active adult community in the entire Savannah area. So if you have questions about that community, we are happy to answer them. We have great relationships with their sales reps over there as well.
Here's part of our high school stadium that you can see. That's just a little teaser because we're coming back to that.
We are.
We're gonna show you guys the proximity between Heartwood that's gonna be on our right, Del Webb will be on our left, and we're gonna show you how close it is to get to the interstate from that because it's so important for people who need a quick commute to have proximity to the interstate.
So we have officially found the construction. I know it didn't look like it when we mentioned it a minute ago, but it is here. You see all of these pretty orange cones, but what these pretty orange cones tell us is that we are widening Belfast Keller Road, which will be a welcome change for the folks that drive it every single day. We're going from 2 lanes to 4 lanes. So that is really going to be an important part of development here, is having the infrastructure to serve all of these different communities and the commercial development that will follow them.
And speaking of infrastructure, you have a lot of important businesses coming to the area as well. So Heartwood is right here on our right. You have the St. Joseph's Candler Urgent Care right here on our left. There's going to be a big box home improvement store coming. There is Hopatomica, which is a pizza bar brewery that will be open supposedly by the end of 2026, fingers crossed. There's additional restaurants, a salon,
A grocery store right there.
grocery store right where we're passing.
They've paved the entryway down to that part of the development.
You already have a Starbucks and a Zaxby's. There's going to be a gas station over here.
2 hotels that are going in over here with Kessler Collection. You guys,
It's just such a great time to invest.
It's such a good time to invest in Richmond Hill. It is going to look dramatically different in the next 10 to 15 years.
And here we are, we're at 95. So you have that proximity to 95, that close to all of this amazing, exciting development.
They just put up that new water tower and painted it, and it looks so pretty.
All right, we're flipping it back around because now we're gonna head towards the new high school because you guys have to see it.
It is really something that will impress you. It might even surprise you a little bit because some college campuses don't even compare to what Richmond Hill High School is now. Last year, the community got to see it when the doors opened for open house for the very first time. Niki actually has a son that was a freshman, so the doors opened to his very first year of high school. And we filmed lots of video that day for the open house and threw together a reel that we shared on social media, and it was viewed over 500,000 times. So that gives you an idea as well about how special this place really is. And I think the students would agree.
It's been an amazing experience. The teachers are incredible. The leadership is fantastic. We can't say enough good things about it.
The Heartwood development also has apartments. So we're passing a brand new apartment complex right here on the left. We actually were just speaking with a client recently who needed to be in an apartment. We have 2 clients that are in these apartments right now, actually. So So we can confirm that they are really nice apartments. So headed over towards Richmond Hill High School right now. We're gonna go loop around to the front of the school.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll pull in the first entrance and show you the front of the school because it's amazing. All right. So we are pulling into one of the roundabouts in the high school. Imagine that. Imagine that. So you can get a good glimpse of what the high school looks like from the front. I'm actually gonna come all the way over here. This is the backside of the stadium. You've got track and field right here in the middle. And then I'm gonna pull straight on so you can see the high school. It's enormous. There's almost 2,900 students, I believe, at the high school this year with room to grow. So lots of places to gather, lots of places to hang out and be together. And they nailed it.
They did.
It's incredible.
It was a $132 million project. And once you go inside and you see how spectacular every piece, right? Like the cafeteria is great. The athletic
The gym
stuff
is amazing.
The fine arts. There's a full commercial culinary kitchen in there where kids can learn how to be a chef. There's
They have mechatronics.
STEM, that's what I was thinking about. The STEM stuff is amazing. The healthcare education, it's just phenomenal, all the opportunities that the kids get here at the new high school and with the schools in Richmond Hill in general.
We're ending our tour at the brand new Richmond Hill High School, not because we ran out of places to drive and to show you, but because it's the perfect epitome of what Richmond Hill is and where it's going.
That's so good. You're exactly right. There's so much growth. There's so much growth happening here. And if you're wondering why or what exactly is driving that growth, you should check out this video we have linked here because we recently talked about 8 mega projects that are happening in and around Savannah. And that'll really give you an idea of what all of these orange cones are supported by.
Richmond Hill is a place that people come and they stay for decades. And even when they can't stay for decades, they oftentimes move back. It's just a special place in our hearts. We live here, we work here. We work the greater Savannah area too, but it does hold a special piece of our hearts.
So if you're relocating to the greater Savannah area and you're wondering if Richmond Hill is going to be a good fit or if another part of Savannah is your spot, reach out to us because we can help you figure out which suburb, which neighborhood is going to be the right fit for you based on your priorities and your budget. Email us at meettwg@gmail.com to connect with an agent today.
We'll see you in Savannah.